It was just another ordinary day. Or at least, I thought it was. I had a simple errand to run, just a quick stop at the bank to withdraw $20 for lunch. But when I stepped up to the counter, I had no idea that what happened next would change the way I saw kindness forever. As I approached the counter, I noticed the cashier. He looked young, maybe in his mid-20s. He smiled as I approached, but there was something else in his eyes. A hint of curiosity? Maybe it was just my imagination. After all, what could be so special about a simple bank withdrawal? But then he made a joke. A joke that would set the entire story into motion. Before we dive deeper into this story, if you enjoy heartfelt tales that inspire kindness, make sure to hit that subscribe button, like the video, and drop a comment below to share your thoughts. This is Kindness Action, and we bring you stories of kindness that remind us of the good that still exists in the world. I had just finished a long week of work and errands. I wasn't looking for anything extraordinary. I wasn't expecting any life-changing moment. Just $20 for my lunch. The bank was quiet, the usual hum of the air conditioning in the background, the soft tapping of keyboards. As I approached the counter, the cashier glanced up, greeting me with a warm but somewhat tired smile. "Hey there," he said, "how can I help you today?" "I'd just like to withdraw $20, I replied, pulling out my card. As he took my card and began typing on the machine, his face suddenly lit up with a smile. "Only $20? You know, that's the easiest withdrawal of the day," he said, his voice playful. "But hey, don't be shy. Maybe you're just trying to keep things low-key today." I chuckled, trying to match his easygoing tone. "Yeah, sometimes less is more," I said, shrugging. But as I stood there, waiting for the transaction to finish, I couldn't shake off the feeling that something was different. His smile was too genuine, too bright. I couldn't tell if it was his warmth or something else that made me pause for a second longer than I usually would. I'd been to this bank plenty of times before, but there was something about this moment that felt significant. The machine beeped, and he handed me my receipt. "Here you go, $20. Just like you asked." He paused, then added, "But you know, you've got a pretty good balance there." I blinked, unsure of what he meant. "Excuse me," I asked, a little confused. "You've got some money in that account," he said, smiling again. I just checked. A lot more than $20, if I'm being honest. I couldn't help but laugh nervously. "Yeah, I guess I have a decent balance." It was true, nothing extravagant, but enough to keep me comfortable. "But you don't seem like someone who's here to show off their wealth," he continued, still with that playful grin. "I like that. You're humble. And that's a rare thing, you know." I was caught off guard by his comment. Most people in banks, or in general, never really say something like that. I smiled, trying to keep it casual. "Thanks, I guess. I just try to keep things simple." He looked at me for a moment, his smile fading slightly, and then he asked, "Do you ever think about what you could do with that money? I mean, I know it's your personal business, but do you ever think about using it for something bigger than just yourself?" I was taken aback. Here was this young guy, working behind a bank counter, asking me something deep about my finances. I'd barely known him for a few minutes, yet there was something about his tone that made me want to open up. I thought for a moment before answering. I guess I never really thought about it. I've been focused on getting by, you know? Living paycheck to paycheck, just trying to stay ahead. His eyes softened as he nodded. "I get it. But, sometimes, you never know what a little bit of kindness can do. Maybe that money could go somewhere it's needed more than in your own pocket." He said it so casually, yet there was a weight in his words. It hit me hard, almost like a sudden realization. I stood there for a few seconds, feeling the tension in the air. It wasn't like he was pushing me or asking me to do something outrageous. It was just a simple thought, planted in my mind. And suddenly, I realized he wasn't talking just about money. He was talking about life. About generosity. About sharing what we have, whether it's our time, our resources, or simply our kindness. Yeah, I said, quietly, maybe you're right. Maybe I could do something more with it. He smiled at me, a warm, knowing smile. It was the kind of smile you give when you've just shared something important with someone and you're not sure if they'll understand, but you're hoping they will. Sometimes, he said, we don't realize the impact we can have. A small gesture, it can ripple out in ways we can't even imagine. A little kindness goes a long way. I left the bank that day with my $20, but something had shifted inside me. It wasn't about the money anymore. It was about the words that Cashier had said, the way he had made me stop and think about something so simple, yet so profound. Kindness. It wasn't about the grand gestures or the big donations. It was about the small, quiet acts that make a difference in someone's day. That night, as I sat at dinner, I couldn't stop thinking about the cashier's words. I realized I'd been so focused on my own life and struggles that I'd forgotten about the impact kindness could have. And so, I made a decision. The next day, I would pay forward that simple $20 to someone who truly needed it. I didn't know exactly how I would do it, but I knew it was the right thing to do. I was determined to take that small step, to let the ripples of kindness spread in the world. The next morning, I saw a homeless woman sitting on the sidewalk outside of a coffee shop. She was bundled in layers of worn clothes, holding a sign that simply read, "Anything helps." Without hesitation, I walked up to her and handed her the $20 I had withdrawn from the bank the day before. Her face lit up in surprise,